Imagine you have a house which you can call your own. How does that make you feel? Owning your own home makes you feel good as you have a space that is truly yours. Glad to have you join me on Housing Development Program today. I am Flora Ani, your housing diva, your host as usual. The desire for a decent home is every household's dream. It is the single largest investment most families will make and an asset we generally appreciate in value. Just as in industrialized countries, building or buying a home in a developing country grows the wealth of a family and helps build a more equitable distribution of wealth. Before we begin the program as usual, let's bring you up to speed on the happenings in the housing sector. I'll be back shortly.
With a housing deficit of 2.5 million units, the Lagos State government has initiated talks with the United Nations Office for Project Services and multilateral development agencies to construct 100,000 units of mass housing units across the state. This plan was revealed in a housing sector assessment report that the Commissioner for Housing, Mr. Moruf Akinderu-Fatai, recently presented at the State Secretariat, Alausa, to mark Sanwo-Olu's midterm anniversary. As indicated in the report, Mr. Akinderu-Fatai said that the state's new mass housing initiative with the United Nations Office for Project Services, an operational arm of the United Nations, will provide 100,000 units of housing units in different parts of the state. Lagos, one of the world's first 20th largest cities, is faced with an acute housing deficit of over 2.5 million, which, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, accounts for about 14.7% of Nigeria's housing deficit, estimated at 17 million. Owing to the housing deficit currently experienced in Nigeria, experts have pointed the lack of funding as well as the Land Use Acts as some of the constraints hampering the development of housing sector in the country. Mr. Fabian Wanra, chairman EFA Properties, who made this known in a forum in Abuja, further cited high cost of infrastructure, increasing rural-urban migration, inadequate finance mechanism for low-income housing, inadequacy of administrative and legislative framework as other challenges which requires urgent attention. He further noted that delivering affordable housing in the country will require a comprehensive approach of mobilizing and harnessing the efforts of private and public sectors as well as civil societies. Residents of Jeun Yewa, a village in Karo local government area of Nasarawa State, recently trooped out in their numbers to protest against what they see as an attempt by land grabbers to displace them from their ancestral homes. The villagers who gathered in their numbers at the Yewa Primary School for a peaceful rally carried various placards reading, "Our fathers' graveyards are not for sale. Land grabbers, leave us alone. Allow our ancestors to rest in peace. We are going nowhere." Amongst others, they vowed to resist any attempt to deprive them of the only community they have known as home for years. Located about 2 kilometers away from Maraba, the center of commerce in the north-central state, Jeun Yewa boasts of sprawling arable land and lush green vegetation. Populated largely by the Bagi ethnic nation, the community also houses Nigerians of other ethnic nationalities, including Tiv, Idoma, Yoruba, among others. As Namibia's housing deficit continues to outrun supply with a housing deficit of over 300,000 units, Governor Elia Irimari of Oshana regions has stated that the country requires collective efforts from local authorities and financial institutions to tackle the housing backlog facing the country. Irimari stressed that what they seek as sustainable solutions were the financial institutions ensuring that they lend responsibly to those who are deserving, capable, and able to repay. The governor, who lamented that financial institutions are not financing housing built with alternative materials in Namibia but are doing so in South Africa, said currently we cannot achieve inclusiveness with this approach as the market continues to exclude low-income earners.
fully persuaded about the need for a more sustainable, modern, creatively crafted and functional design, Urban Shelter Limited has developed yet another masterpiece that so easily breaks the borders of creativity and dispels mediocrity. Well seated on over 210,000 square meters of land and marked for housing development, the Promenade Estate is located in an excellent part of the Federal Capital Territory, Local Goma, a central point in Abuja, proximal to most places of relative significance and attraction and edged by multiple access roads where homeowners can swiftly meet up with schedules and appointments. Pushing the frontiers of communal living, the Promenade Estate has within its borders 2-bedroom and 4-bedroom semi-detached for the purpose of facilitating communal living, while homeowners have well-defined mutually exclusive spaces. The Promenade Estate appeals to the minds of intellectuals, professionals, and homeowners who have a thirst for a house that sits comfortably on global standard. Urban Shelter setting the pace.
You're watching Housing Development. That was a news update. For more housing stories, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. Almost about 65% of Nigerians are renters, and that number keeps growing. But the ability of some renters to make their properties feel like home can be restricted by the condition put on the property by the landlords. So many tenants relate easily to this question. What are the craziest rules renters have been given by landlords? Let's find out on Voices on the Streets.
Not to me directly. I think it happened to one of my friends. I went to visit her and she came out and met me and like, I cannot enter her. Like, I don't understand. Why can't I enter you? I said, the landlord said, as a female, you can't invite a male friend to your house. That you have to go and meet somewhere else. I said, like, seriously? And I think that happened to one of my friends, to a guy. In the house, you can't invite a female friend. I think that is the most weirdest rule I've ever seen so far.
I've lived in a compound where I lived with landlord before. One of the widest rules that I have ever heard from a landlord, one is the landlord I previously stayed with have this rule that you must not come to the compound beyond 10 o'clock. That's 10 p.m. at night. So most times you find it very difficult when you have other things that is keeping you outside and beyond 10 o'clock, you find you cannot come into the compound because the gate is locked. Then I've also have a landlord who told me that I cannot live with more than 2 persons in my room. And for me, it was a weird thing. I was like, I paid for this place, so why can't I stay with whoever I want to stay with? And the man said you can only stay 2 in the house. And I also in that same house, the landlord also told me that I cannot have my activity within the compound. That if I am having a celebration which I need to invite people, that I need to throw it outside the compound. That his compound is not a place where touts and whoever can come in. So for me, it's another another thing that I've also seen from landlord that is unbelievable.
Landlord me don't chook my guy yan. Even when I never finish, they tell us me pay house rent. Couple say the country not even balance, so we'll come up for this pandemic. Everybody eye they red. If not, be say the country not there alright. Normally, with the crisis, pandemic will shock the whole world. Nobody's supposed to collect shish for any tenant. But you can't, to my surprise, say rent never even finish. But they try look for something where they go put for belly. Landlord don't they chase my brother out. Happened to me. My landlord a correct guy. That one a very understanding woman.
My landlord told me then when I was serving Abia State that I can have just one roommate. I can't have any other person sleep over or any other thing. Just a roommate, me and my roommate.
There you have it, Voices on the Street. Some landlords and landladies can be so frustrating with their weird rules and regulations to tenants. From the landlord who will tell you can have family or friends stay over, to those who will insist no one must visit you, and those who will turn to accurate timekeepers and monitor your every movement. Inasmuch as we talk about landlords, some terrible tenants can make your job as a landlord tough. Some constitute nuisance to other neighbors, while some are careless and damage your property. Most property owners also face the hassles of dealing with difficult tenants at some point, and it is not easy. I'll be back shortly. You're watching Housing Development.
One of the most prominent features of your house is your roof. Your roof will tell how old your building is. At Plus World, we pride ourselves in having the expertise and products to bring your roof back to life. While other roofing companies suggest removing the roof, we restore the roof with warranty assurance. Let Plus World Roofing recoat your old and fading roofs and make your roofs brand new. Our products are eco-friendly and completely harmless to human and the environment. We offer services that will sustain your roof's integrity and by extension, your property value. This includes roof repairs and maintenance for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Our roof restoration solution saves you up to 70% the cost of replacing your roof. Contact Plus World Roofing today.
Welcome back. Now going forward on the program, if you shift your gaze to construction projects in Nigeria, you will see the litany of abandoned projects that fill up the country. There are lots of such projects in various states of abandonment. Housing Development Crew paid a visit to one of such in the nation's capital. Let's have a look.
A drive through the streets of Abuja, the nation's capital, will reveal a significant number of abandoned housing projects littering the landscape. Although millions of nairas are allocated to housing projects in the country every year, abandonment of these projects still ensue. Report shows that most of these housing projects have been converted to criminal hideouts, illegal shotlets, and even barracks by the police force. This persistent trend galvanized the legislative arm of government to take actions by investigating all abandoned government projects from the year 1999 during the tenure of the former president Olusegun Obasanjo till today. According to the perturbed lawmakers, over 20,000 projects have been awarded in the country and payment of not less than 50%, which amounts to billions of naira, have been made in advance. Most housing projects frequently abandoned are due to a myriad of problems ranging from litigation, whereby many lawsuits are delayed by the court, the lack of funds, issues of land ownership and titles, poor infrastructure, issues with constructors, and change of government. Here in Saraji District, Apo, in the nation's capital, lies Malaysian Garden Estate, one of the numerous abandoned federal government housing projects in the country. This estate was launched by the former president Olusegun Obasanjo in 2004, but even after 15 years, still hasn't reached completion. Housing Development Crew paid a visit to the estate, but were denied access into the land by the security guard, who also refused to speak about the estate. But from outside where the crew stood, several people were spotted illegally occupying the houses, even in its abandonment. This estate, which holds 14,085 housing units, if completed, will provide housing for thousands of Nigerians, as the housing scheme is set to focus on 65% low-income earners, 25% middle-income earners, and 10% high-income earners. The issue of project failure and abandonment has been left unresolved for a very long time, and this has created obvious room for a multiplier effect on the construction industry as well as the entire economy. It is also a threat to the security of many Nigerians because most of these buildings have become hideouts of criminals or places to conduct criminal activities. With a country like Nigeria challenged with housing deficit and insecurity, it is important for adequate measures to be taken by the government at all levels to address the issue. If the issue of abandoned housing is properly checked, it will go a long way in delivering affordable houses to Nigerians, thereby curtailing housing deficits in the country.
We can't be talking of housing shortage while hundreds of housing projects across the country we started several years ago have been abandoned at various stages of completion. Something must be done, and urgently too.
Hi, I'm Bob Weinsheng, CEO of iBuild Global, and keep watching the Housing Development Program.
What is the name of my grandson?
Suleiman.
That's a good name. May the Almighty preserve him.
Amen.
Now that your family is growing, this is the time for you to start thinking of a house of your own.
Abba, the thought of this has always been on my mind. To build a house now, you need a lot of money, and that is what is holding me back.
Sonny, what you need is a mortgage. NHF mortgage loan. With NHF mortgage loan, you own a house upfront and pay gradually over a long period of time.
Abba, I will go to the FMBN office right away.
Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
The program is housing development. Still on providing affordable housing for the benefit of so many Nigerians, my crew took a tour to Peachville Platinum Estate, a well-planned residential estate built with state-of-the-art facilities to bridge the housing deficit in the country.
Peachville Platinum Estate is the balance between innovation and tradition, exhibiting well-planned and conceived residential estates tastefully built with smart luxury living in mind to bridge the huge deficit within Nigeria's housing sector.
Peachville was set up essentially to help with the housing deficit that we have in Nigeria, essentially to provide homes for seeming population and investment opportunities also for individuals around.
A technology-centered real estate firm that engineers smarter and more valuable homes at amazingly flattering prices. Peachville Platinum Estate aligns with the definition of luxury from your point of view and is deliberately innovative in redefining luxury with a concept of smart home ownership that disruptively projects luxury, not just as a label, but conveyed in its real essence.
It's not enough to just say that you want to solve a problem and you put up ideas and it's just on paper. You have to physically move, make efforts, practical efforts to ensure that all of these suggestions and the blueprints are achieved or achievable, you know.
To own a home in Peachville Estates is very easy. You have three options. Option one, which I usually tell people, which is the best option, is you go on off-plan, which you have the easiest method of paying because it's either one-off payment. You get everything from scratch. And also, in paying for option one of the things you need to understand is you have high investment returns. Another thing you also have in keying in from scratch is that you can do anything with the internal system. What do I mean by internal system? You can rearrange how you want your apartment to be. You can be more spacious and all that. So those are the basic advantages of keying in with first one. Now the second one is either you have a mortgage plan. And the mortgage plan, we have good PMIs that we've worked with and then we're still working with. And also for the third one, you have a payment plan, which is a 3 times payment plan. And what do I mean by a 3 times payment plan? It's like more of quarterly, basically. That's what I should say. You have a 40% payment plan, the first payment installment. You have another 40% second installment, and then you have the 20% installment.
With estates strategically located at different parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Peachville, beyond raising elegantly built properties, also boasts of finishing that competes with the best of properties across the nation, alongside a 24-hour security run by well-trained uniformed guards, enhanced by CCTV coverage around the perimeter of these estates. Also available are recreational facilities, gyms, swimming pools, and children playgrounds. If what you seek is security, comfort, and a luxurious environment that complements your high tastes, then Peachville Platinum Estate is it.
My name's Robert Hornsby with American Home Builders of West Africa. Keep watching Housing Development Program.
Welcome back. One event that has provided possible solutions to the housing sector growth in Nigeria is the Abuja International Housing Show. Abuja International Housing Show, the largest home expo in Africa, is dedicated to ensuring safe, decent and affordable housing for all Nigerians. They have been promoting housing affordability for all since 2006. The 15th Abuja International Housing Show will convene policymakers, operators, regulators and advocates to explore possible solutions to address housing most pressing challenges. This year's speakers include both nationally and internationally recognized housing, finance and community development experts. Abuja International Housing Show offers professionals and leaders the guidance and inspiration they need to shape the future of social housing and deliver for residents and communities. Now here are what you must know about Abuja International Housing Show.
This show has been amazing. I would say that I've actually learned a lot and networked with a whole lot of real estate developers out there. So it's been insightful so far. Like, I'm really overwhelmed. Really overwhelmed. I've learned a lot.
We must thank Abuja Housing Show for giving us this opportunity. And we are so pleased to interact with the people in the audience here. They are showing a lot of interest and curiosity. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I am so particularly impressed by the content of delivery. First and foremost, the awareness, the publicity. Prior to this time, I have 3-4 partners who have called me to remind me that they have seen adverts of Abuja International Show on television, on news media. Am I going to be here? I was really amazed that if people are not in the sector are so aware of this, then the organizers of the same must have done a lot to get people's attention, and that's quite a commendable feat.
Abuja Housing Show is a very productive event. You come around here to meet over 50,000 persons. It's been very productive. I mean, since we started coming here, there has been a greater brand awareness, and you meet the corporate world, you meet the public, you meet the masses, and then you do business in a great way and in a special way. I think that's part of the reason why we're here.
Very impressive, absolutely impressive. Every year, this exhibition keeps growing bigger, greater attendance, global attendance, and this is an improvement of the very excellent one we had last year also.
Thank you so much for letting me into your homes and offices. For want of time, this is where I'll be wrapping up today's episode of Housing Development. Thanks for watching. I remain Flora Annie, your housing diva. Do stay safe out there.